Hello, this is Jen from Newton's Nook Designs. Today I'm going to be sharing how to create this beautiful Happy Hello Daisy card. This card is created using only die cuts, so it's really quick and simple to make. Here's what I'm going to be using to create this card. First we have our lattice die cut. That's going to go in the background. Then we're going to be using our Daisies die set to create the daisies. And we'll also be using the Filigree oval frame die set for the hello and the oval. The first thing I'm going to do is cut out that lattice background, and I'm popping out all those squares that I don't need. You could actually save those and use them on a different project if you wanted, so I'm just going to set them aside for now. So here we have our lattice background cut out, and I've cut another piece of paper that is the same size, so it's 4 by 5 1/4, and then I'm going to glue them together just to create a tonal background. I'm using a very fine tip glue pen here, and I'm just going around all the edges and then real quickly through the center lines, just to make sure we have a nice adhesion over the card. Next, I'm going to cut out the daisies. So this die set has two different types of blooms. So I'm going to cut out 3 blooms, some centers, and then some stems and leaves. So you can see here I have 2 of the wider bloom and 1 of the thinner one. I'm just putting a little bit of glue in the center, and then I realized I needed to get a little tweezer, make it easier to add in the yellow centers. Next, what I'm going to do is die cut all the rest of the pieces so that I can kind of lay out the card and decide how I want it all arranged. So first I have the oval that was cut out using the Filigree oval frame die, and so was the word hello. And then that banner is from our frames and flags die set. So I'm just kind of laying everything out here and deciding where I want it. I'm going to start out by adhering the word hello to the banner. I'm going to get out that fine tip glue bottle again and just kind of dot glue all over the back of the word. And then I'm going to use a tweezer to help me place it where I want it. I kind of like it layering over the edge just a little. And then I'm going to set that on top of the oval so I can kind of see where everything is going to go. And now I'm going to place my daisies and stems and leaves to figure out how I want everything assembled. I wasn't sure what the best order of assembly would be, so you can see here on the first one, I added the glue to the back of the flower and then kind of tried to smoosh the stem into it and add it on. I was like, I don't know if that was working very good. So on the second one, I just added a little bit of glue to the top of the stem, tucked it in there, and then pressed the daisy on top. So maybe that worked a little better. I think you could do it either way. Just see what works for you. Play around, arranging flowers, arranging your paper flowers. It's a lot of fun to do. And then if you need to go back and you can add some glue underneath. I went on the back side and added more glue on there too, just to make sure the flowers aren't going to fall off or move around. Now that I have the placement figured out for that, it's time to add on the leaves. And again, I'm just going to kind of place the leaves around, moving them about until I like the configuration, trying to decide if that one should go in front or behind the flower, and just move them around till you like what you see. And I think that's the configuration there that I ended up with. And I'm just adding a little bit of glue on the back of each leaf and then adhering it right onto the vellum oval. So super simple to assemble. It's kind of just fun. You're like arranging flowers. So a lot of fun. And here I'm just going back and adding a little bit more glue along the edges. Now I'm ready to glue on that banner. So I'll add that to the bottom. And then the last step is to add the whole thing onto the card base. So I'm adding a little bit of tape runner this time, just because it's a little stronger maybe to hold it in place. And then the last step is to add it to the card base. So again, I get out my tape runner and adhere all the corners of the card and add it on. And that's it. Very simple. Once my card was all assembled, I was looking at it and realized I had some of those little hairs along the edges of the die cut. So I grabbed a stipple brush, the kind with the hard bristles, and just kind of softly brushed around the edges. And that's a good way to get those little extra strays off that are caused by die cutting. And that was it. That was the finishing touch. And here's the final card. So you can see how beautiful that card is. And it was so quick and easy to make. All you need to do is die cut a few pieces and assemble it all together, and you have a beautiful, happy hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed watching the process of making this card. Everything I used today will be linked below, and you can find it all over at newtonsnookdesigns.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful crafty day.